But we don't know the lives. How everybody doing everywhere? Everybody doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally this day. And stop my kings and queens last night. And thank you all for joining on this live stream. You are the real MVP. Thank you very much for joining on this live stream. How everybody doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally this day. Stop my kings and queens last night. And just see what day it is. It is we on the Friday. We're on the fucked up Friday. Because why? Because all airports are down. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. All airports are down. It's been down since yesterday. A lot of stuff been happening since. All right, cut the shit out. A lot of stuff just happening since this yesterday with the airlines. We supposed to be talking about what happened with the debate. Like I said, all the stuff is happening all at once. First, we're talking about what we're here to talk about is Joe Biden has caught COVID. Joe, your president of the United States has caught COVID. So you know what that means. That's right. COVID has its returned, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot more people has catching COVID. It's like it's coming back with a vengeance because now guess who has COVID? That's right. Your president of the United States, Joe effing Biden. What's up, Detroit? Thank you for joining me on this live stream. You're the real MVP. Thank you for joining me on this live stream. Hope you're doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally on this day. And what's up, Latif? Thank you for joining me on this live stream. You are the real MVP. Hope you're doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally on this day. And stop like King last night. And what is going on with this world, y'all? What is going on with this world? First, don't forget about the Baltimore. You remember the Baltimore Bridge? The Baltimore Bridge that's supposed to stop all supplies from reaching stores. Therefore, stopping businesses. Now we got, guess what also is going to stop businesses? Delay airplanes, delay flights. Because there's a lot of people that is at the airport stranded right now. Right now. What the fuck now? Because of this disruption from the system. It got Microsoft's got every screen on the blue. They call it the blue ring of death. I find it funny that this is coming from the same company, Microsoft, because everybody knows that if you own an Xbox before, if you ever had an Xbox before, you know what I'm talking about. When you know that when your Xbox stops working, you get that red. They call it the red ring of death. This is when you get the red ring around your Xbox. That's when you know that something's wrong with it. That's exactly what's going on with Microsoft with the airlines. They got the whole entire screen on blue. They call it the blue light of death. Just like on Xbox, they got the red ring of death. They got it also for computers. It's like, come on, Microsoft, get your stuff together. Because not only is it interrupted but by the planes, it also interrupted banks and other social media outlets. So now people can't even go back and forth for work, especially if you travel for a living. Do not be the one that travel for a living, aka need to catch a flight every day for work, because that is you're gonna be sitting for a while, because that is still trying to get it running. I heard that some is still working, but not all of it. So it be like this all day. They be talking about this all day. And then we're going to talk about, like I said, we're going to talk about the presidential debate that stopped Joe Biden from showing up because he has COVID. And how everybody is making fun of Joe Biden, saying that Donald Trump survived the bullet, but Joe Biden couldn't even survive the virus. That was going in on Joe Biden, saying that. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is able to survive a whole bullet to the ear. Joe Biden couldn't even survive a freaking a virus because he rather stay in bed all day. He rather stay in bed all day with the freaking sniffles, and he needs rest. And it became to a point where he wouldn't even accept phone calls after 3 p.m. After 3 p.m., y'all, he wouldn't even accept phone. And that's exactly why damn near all the Democrats and Republicans are, especially Democrats, specifically Barack Obama, wants Joe Biden to step down because the whole complaint is we need a president that is going to be alert 24/7. We don't need a president that's not going to be around, that's not going to be up past 3 p.m. He even said that he said that he wouldn't even accept phone calls past 8 p.m. Past 8 p.m. he wouldn't accept phone calls past 8 p.m. But this is your president of the United States, though. And y'all voted for him because Donald Trump is racist, and we don't want racist people in office because this is America, damn it. The land of the free, home of the brave. And the last thing we need is a racist. And wait a minute. But isn't Joe Biden having a long history of being racist? I still remember when he had compared roaches to little black children crawling up his leg. He was like, well, I didn't know about roaches until black children was crawling up my leg. That's how I got to know about roaches. But y'all voted for him because Trump is racist. And y'all wonder why we are still dealing with racism, and we are wondering why there's a lot of stuff that there's a reason why I didn't want to vote for Joe Biden. It's because he put it out there in plain sight that he's going to carry out the plan that Obama was planning on doing when he was president of the United States. So therefore, all the plans that Obama was planning on doing when he was president, Joe Biden planned to finish the job that Obama started. That's right, Latif. We got 1 more minute till 4:20. Everybody got your joints, your blunts, your bowls, your bongs. And hope everybody got your TLC gummies ready, get your drinks ready, because we're about to get it in. Because guess what, guys? We're on a Friday, and you ain't got no job. You ain't got to do what I found to do. Let's get break, shall we? Because guess what time it is? We got 1 more minute till 4:20. Boom. So help everybody getting ready, because be about that time. Should we count down? 10, 9, oh, we already here. Countdown is over. It's Friday night. It's Friday afternoon. It's 4 p.m. Peace Eastern time. You know what we have to do. It's time, once again, for everybody to come aboard the Smooth Train. Choo choo! Happy Friday, y'all. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Even though it might be a lot, but you'll see how the smoke dust came out. This still got a whole lot of wax up in here. All this is wax. And then you got all this down here. Like I said, guys, it might not look a lot to you, but when it comes out heavy. Oh yeah, in Detroit, I'm glad you be sure to this live stream, because guess what's coming to your area this week in Detroit? None other than Eric Khan. That's why Eric Khan is coming to your city. Now, wait a minute. Because now, all of a sudden, I don't think that's going to happen because of the airport. Remember, the airport is disrupted. And Eric Khan is from California. He was planning on taking a trip to Detroit, and they're having an all it's like all weed party, where there's like all you can smoke party in Detroit, and he was supposed to be there this weekend, but this is before everything started happening with the airlines. So I wonder how that's gonna take out, how that's gonna work out with Eric Khan, because he pretty much made that announcement last night on his live stream about him making a trip to Detroit. Him and Pine Park are having like a sale, some type of gathering, some type of a smoke out event happening in Detroit. But now, ever since the airlines that happening, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not sure, but for right now, I don't think it's going to happen. What's up, Moosey? They could join us live stream. Moosey! They could join us live stream. Y'all the real MVP. Hope you'll do well physically, mentally, and emotionally on this day. And slept like kings and queens last night. Of course, you, Lucy, hope you slept like a king last night. And you say TNA was in Philly last night. Oh wow, was it? Wow, I didn't know that. But I was, well, all last night I was watching the debate. That's why I didn't watch Impact Wrestling, because the debate was on pretty much from 7 o'clock all the way up to 11 o'clock. And they pretty much was going in on Joe Biden. Everybody was going in on Joe Biden. From all the actors, and actresses, even they said that the cost of living, when it comes to housings, when it comes to food, when it comes to taxes, when it comes to jobs, everything is out of order. Everything costs too much. And this is coming from celebrities, by the way. Specifically, Hulk Hogan. Everybody knows Hulk Hogan's got hella money. For Hulk Hogan to say that the cost of housing is getting ridiculous, and the gas prices is getting ridiculous, and the food cost is getting ridiculous. For him to say that, out of all people, that's to tell you guys something. That's the way to tell you guys something about the economy. That even celebrities are starting to complain about the economy. Something that we would never ever thought we would hear from celebrities, especially when it comes to celebrities, because we all know that when it comes to celebrities, they get stuff handed to them on a silver platter. Especially if you're a big time celebrity, all they gotta do is advertise it, but say that, oh, I'm Sylvester Stallone, and I'm here to sell you this. I'm here to represent this product. Look what I got here. This is what I got, and they see you with it, and then everybody bought it because they see you with it because you Sylvester Stallone. So that's why and therefore sometimes celebrities get stuff handed to them for free. Don't even got to pay for it because they are a celebrity. They be like, "Oh, you ain't got to pay for it. It's on me, bro. You Michael Jackson. Get out of here, man. You Michael Jackson. It's on me, bro. You Michael Jackson. Get out of here, bro. You funny, man. You funny. You think you gonna pay for that? You funny. You Michael Jackson, man. or you Madonna. There's no way I'm gonna make you pay for that because you Madonna. You know. That's why I was like surprised that Hulk Hogan, out of all people, was complaining about the economy. I was like, wow, that's how you know the economy has turned into shit. Turned into a complete shat. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we on a Friday, so stay hydrated during the sets. Cheers, my friend. And then So because Joe Biden has caught COVID, it's been all. That's one of the things that's been all over the news. Besides what's going on right now, is Joe Biden catching COVID. It was another reason why everybody wanted him to step down. It's because he has COVID, and not to mention, he's an elderly person with COVID. He's an elderly person with COVID, and everybody knows that everybody knows that according to somebody named Dr. Fauci, according to Dr. Fauci, it affects older people the most. It affects older people the most. It affects the older people the most, aka the COVID. And guess how old Joe Biden is? He's like 81 years old. He's already an elderly person. So combine that with the COVID. Biden has COVID.
Biden has COVID.
Check this out. This was covered by all news outlets from CNN, NBC, ABC, the entire news outlet was talking about Joe Biden has COVID.
About to speak, but something has gone on. We've just gotten new information. Tell us about that.
Well, President Biden has just tested positive for COVID. That, according to the president of UNIDOS, the leader of the organization that was set to host President Biden here in Las Vegas this afternoon amid a flurry of outreach that the president was doing to black voters and Hispanic voters as he tried to shore up support from critical constituencies. The UNIDOS president noting that Biden has done many more public events. He's been with crowds. He was just at a local restaurant earlier this afternoon filming an interview with a local Latino media outlet. And it was shortly after that word began spreading here in the ballroom that the president would not be attending this event to deliver his remarks that at this point have now been delayed considerably throughout the afternoon. There was an audible gasp in the ballroom when that news was delivered, but as the leader of UNIDOS explained that President Biden planned to address the group at some point in the future and said that they will continue to support the president in his policies and his efforts, there was some applause that broke out among the crowd. Remember, the second gentleman tested positive for COVID a little bit more than a week ago, so there has been some exposure in the White House from some people who have tested positive, but it's unclear exactly where President Biden picked this up. We know that he tested positive for COVID last in July 2022. He was treated with a course of Paxlovid at that time, and he experienced a rebound positive test just a few days after beginning of that course of Paxlovid, but we're still awaiting more information from the White House on exactly how the president is feeling, where he had this test conducted amid a time where there have been many questions for the White House about the president's health in particular, and at a time where he has been trying to prove to the public that he has the strength and vigor to continue campaigning and for a second term. Wolf?
Kayla, stand by for a moment. I want to play the clip, the organizer of this event in Las Vegas, announcing that the President of the United States, President Biden, has tested positive for COVID. Let's listen to this.
Wow, look, you heard this?
Being able to join us this afternoon. The President has been at many events, as we all know, and he just tested positive for COVID.
Ooh.
So, of course, we understand that he needs to take.
All right, so there you have it. It's the organizer announcing that.
Yeah, he said he called short real quick. All right, that's enough. That's enough. We heard about that. We heard about enough.
You're there in Las Vegas. You heard it. What was the reaction of the crowd when this announcement was made?
Well, yes, I am here. I'm backstage. I was supposed to be saying hello to the president.
Okay, that's what's up, Lucy. Hope you enjoy the hope you enjoy your smoke later on tonight.
There's about 2,000 people in the audience. They flooded the ballroom when the doors
Man,
opened.
you be on the 3-day break.
People have been
I know you go get
for,
high on the
over
first
3
first
hours. There
puff.
was a lot of excitement to hear him. He's been here in Las Vegas since yesterday when he did a speech at the
Look at this.
NAACP. He had a packed schedule.
Look how old he looks.
He was doing
Dude looks like
events at a
damn near
Mexican
100
restaurant.
years
He was
old.
doing media interviews with Latino media at a Mexican restaurant here in the city. And we were sitting here waiting for him and wondering what was delaying him. And then the news came to Janet Murguia, who is the head of Unidos, that he was not coming, that he had tested positive for COVID. President Biden called her. I was next to her. President Biden called her, told her how sorry he is not to be here, how disappointed he is, how much this organization means to him. Janet and Unidos, of course, is very disappointed. This was going to be a great event for the president. There was a lot of people who really wanted to show him here that they have his back. And listen, I'll say this. My co-host, Whoopi Goldberg, was out last week with 5 days because of COVID.
Whoopi Goldberg got COVID too?
Again, and this should be a reminder for all of us that COVID is not gone, that there's new strains, and that it's coming around again. So the decision was made for him not to come and not to put anybody at risk.
Wow.
Anna, did they say anything about the symptoms that he may have had that resulted in an actual COVID test being administered?
Right.
Yeah, apparently he started not feeling well. Apparently he started feeling under the weather. And it must have been today, Wolf, because like I said, yesterday he was at the NAACP that is also having its annual convention here. And just to put things
What's up,
in
Nico?
context,
Thanks for jumping on this live stream. You are the real
Unidos
MVP.
is
Hope you're doing well
the
physically.
the
Mentally and
Latino
emotionally on this day,
version
except
of
like the king last night.
It's the largest Latino advocacy organization in the country.
We are here to talk
It's
about
been having
COVID.
annual conventions since 1978.
Your president of the United States, Joe Biden, has been tested positive for COVID.
Where he got a rousing applause, a rousing reception. He gave.
So that's why everybody want him to step down.
At other events, and then today he had a packed schedule starting in the morning, and about an hour and a half ago, we heard backstage that there was something delaying him, that he wasn't feeling well, and then they came back and said he's just tested positive for COVID.
Wow.
People traveling with the president called Janet Murguia, and then the president himself called Janet Murguia and told her how sorry he is not to be able to join Unidos.
Wow.
Anna, there was a large audience getting ready to hear the President of the United States when it was announced that he has tested positive with COVID. What was the reaction inside the room?
Oh, great disappointment.
Wow.
This is a Latino organization that has a lot of members and supporters that are very engaged in politics. Wolf, I've been at this convention with John McCain. I've heard George
President Biden has COVID.
Convention. This is a convention.
CNN breaking news.
This convention. This is a convention that has got a lot of respect, a lot of supporters, and it is not unusual for candidates, presidential candidates, Senate candidates, to come and address this convention to earn their support, to win their vote. And this is an organization and an audience with which the president has a lot of goodwill. And I know that Janet Murguia had a great introduction ready for him, touting his accomplishments with the Latino community. I know that we're getting ready to make some announcements. I know that the president was looking forward to coming and talking about what he has done for the Latino community and what he expects to do the next 4 years. So I think there's been great disappointment by the audience that's been waiting, by the president who couldn't come and join us, and by the organizers who just had to pull the plug on his speech, even though there is also gratitude that he was coming here in the first place, that he was giving this organization and by proxy the Latino community the time to come and speak to us at this time.
And we were, of course, planning on listening and taking his remarks live here in the Situation Room until this announcement that
So, wow, ladies and gentlemen, it's like I said, it's always something that's happening to this country. Always something that's happening to this country. Since 2000, not since the year 2018, things have been going downhill. Starting with the COVID. Ever since COVID started, things has been downhill from this country. And it seems like more and more people are still catching COVID. And now the president of the United States has not gotten COVID. That's why I was like, why hasn't nobody has locked up Dr. Fauci? Because everybody know who's responsible for it, but yet Dr. Fauci is still walking around free. Because now the president has COVID. Tell you guys, it's been talked about through all over social media, all over the news outlets. From
President Biden appears to struggle.
Inside Edition.
Slowly descends the steps of Air Force One, pausing at times to look around.
Okay.
He stiffly walks to a waiting SUV. He has to be helped inside. He puts on a mask on his way to his house in Delaware to self-isolate.
See?
The President of the United States.
Biden was actually announced at a packed Latino conference in Las Vegas. But
Latino
he never
conference
came
in Las
out.
Vegas.
Where was the president? Then came this stunning announcement.
He just tested positive for COVID.
Before the diagnosis, the president kissed supporters and shook hands with patrons at a Las Vegas
Oh
restaurant.
no.
He also posed for selfies. NBC anchor Lester Holt interviewed Biden on
They said
Monday.
that's how you call COVID?
And he sure
You just
must
start
be
kissing
thinking
random
whether
people?
he should get tested.
This news comes just 2 days after I sat down to interview the president of.
Also,
I want you guys to see
NBC
something
anchor
about this.
Lester Holt interviewed Biden on Monday, and he sure
I want
must
you-
be
I want you-
thinking
guys show you-
whether
let me
he
show you
should
guys
get
something.
tested.
This news comes just 2 days after.
Hold on. I don't know if you guys saw that.
He
but
also posed
I'm
for
gonna show you guys
selfies.
again.
NBC anchor Lester
Let me freeze
Holt
it.
interviewed Biden on Monday, and he sure must be thinking whether he should get tested.
This news comes.
Now, what I've been seeing on the internet lately, specifically on Instagram, y'all remember whoever remember seeing the TV cartoon show series called Scooby Doo? Who remembers Scooby Doo, the cartoon series? Scooby Gooby Doo, where are you? Because some work to do now. Well, during the Scooby Doo, they would have the bad guys wear masks, and they'll be like some type of monster mask, and then they would like terrorize people, and then the Scooby Doo would just try to find out who that person was. So they would do is they start to try to solve the crime and then find the monster, and after they find the monster, they realize that this monster was wearing a mask. And when he took out the mask, it was like a person behind it. Well, according to people on Instagram, this this is the mask. This is a mask. There's a video of Joe Biden where his face was like, see how his line is? His line was going all the way up past his head. This hairline was going all the way past his head. And it keep going up and up and up and up. Every time he raises his eyebrows, keep going up and up and up. And then they show up his loose skin in the back of his neck, like being extra loose, like he wear like some type of face mask or something, like he wears some type of mask. So now, and then they also show video of Joe Biden, like the way he from the 90s all the way up to now, and everybody was like, throughout the entire time, Joe Biden's face be looking different. So let me guys know if you think this is the real Joe Biden, or is this somebody who wearing a Joe Biden mask? Look at his skin.
Just 2 days after I sat down to interview the president at the White House, he appeared okay at that time.
In this political season, people of all parties, they're out shaking hands. Somebody gave him COVID as well as a handshake.
The White House says Biden is experiencing mild upper respiratory symptoms and is taking Paxlovid.
Boy, the walls are closing in on him.
There's a congressman who texted me yesterday and said, could we have one day without bad news this week?
Biden's COVID diagnosis could not have come at a worse time for the president as pressure mounts to drop out of the race.
President Biden could now reportedly drop out of the race.
Before he caught COVID, they wanted him to drop out the race.
Over his electability.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi telling the president in a private conversation that the polling bears out that he cannot defeat former President Donald Trump.
I think that he's going to drop out now. That's my feeling. The COVID, in a way, is like a good way for him to get out because he needs this time to show how strong he is, and he's sick. And the time is very, very short now.
This is not going to end well if it continues to drag out.
This is exactly why this country is doomed, because look what we have as our leader. Look what we have as our leader, and people wondering why people act the way they act when it comes to like behavior or whatever. Well, look at our leadership. We surely has no leadership by example. What would happen to leadership by example? Leadership by example. But because there are no leadership, what type of example are you sending to the public if we don't even have a leadership? That means, so that's why people think that they can just run around and do whatever they want because we have absolutely no leadership, no authority, no laws being put in order because we have no leadership. Our leader has COVID. So he's gonna be too busy taking care of himself, which he could barely do that already. So everybody expect that. That's exactly why people that's in the Democrats wants Joe Biden to step down, including Obama, because they know that not only he's an old person that shouldn't even be in office in the first place, an elderly person, he's an elderly person who has COVID. That's not good at all. That's double negative. Not only are you old, but you old and you got COVID. Knowing that how many people have died over having COVID, especially somebody who's around his age. No grano, my friend, no grano. And then what makes it then everybody's saying that because Joe Biden has COVID, that means that Donald Trump has already run the race. Donald Trump has won the race because everybody wants Joe Biden to give up and step down. So therefore, just single-handedly give Donald Trump the victory and have him become president versus Joe Biden. Because at least with Donald Trump, we have a leader that could actually stay up past 8 o'clock. And then this is what your Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, had to say. You want to know what she had to say? Let's see what Kamala Harris had to say.
team and the pressure campaign to try to get him to step aside. 32 congressional Democrats are now calling on him to bow out. And we have new reporting just now that Vice President Kamala Harris will be addressing major Democratic donors this afternoon on a call that was just scheduled. The topic, I'm told by one source, will be, quote, the work that needs to be done to protect democracy. One attendee on that call will be Reid Hoffman, the Democratic mega donor, who has been one of Biden's most loyal supporters.
So why every time I see Kamala Harris, she always smiling? Why she so happy about? The world is in complete shit. The world has been turned upside down. Not only we are still dealing with COVID, we're dealing with gun violence, we're dealing with knife stabbing, we're dealing with all this stuff that's happening. We're dealing with homelessness. We are dealing with what we also dealing with. Oh yeah, don't forget about COVID. We also dealing with the high rise of living. We also dealing with the food costs. We also dealing with recalls on food. And all this events happening. Don't forget about the Baltimore Bridge. Don't forget about the Baltimore Bridge. But yeah, she always happy. She always happy and smiling and I always want to laugh. And talk about random stuff that has nothing to do with what's going on today with our society.
Now, this latest news comes as some Democrats, and especially donors, begin to make plans for Biden's exit. That's even as he and his campaign continue to say publicly that he's staying in the race and that he'll be hitting the campaign trail next week. NBC News is reporting that members of the president's own family are making plans as to what an exit could look like, and that allies of Vice President Kamala Harris are mapping out what a campaign for her could look like. I've also been told that ahead of this afternoon's call, donors have been openly discussing, and some with some enthusiasm, getting back involved in a race that they had recently been sitting out in order to support any new candidate. Now, on that front, too, Dom Harris is set to appear at a fundraiser in Massachusetts tomorrow alongside the actress Jennifer Coolidge and Governor Maura Healey, who I will note is one of those officials who's been suggesting in public that she would like to see Biden bow out. Dom?
See, everybody wants Joe Biden to give up.
This is maybe exposing fissures within the party on the Democratic things right now, because we do have two very prominent voices, including Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in New York and Bernie Sanders from Vermont, who are, in essence, perhaps questioning whether or not it's the right path forward to have President Biden drop out of this particular race.
You should hear what Fox News had to say about Kamala Harris. They're even more ruthless.
What exactly are you hearing about whether or not there are a unified front building with regard to that particular view?
There really is not a unified front here at all within the Democratic Party, and that's one of the biggest issues. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, to add another name to your list, was also out there this morning saying that Biden is our nominee. It seemed to be sort of a stronger push from him than we've seen so far to say we need to sort of coalesce behind him. But it's certainly not happening. 32 congressional Democrats, that's more than 1 in 10 members of the caucus that are coming out now, and we're expecting that number to continue to grow. It's grown significantly just throughout the day today. So what members have to decide here is what they want to do to move forward. One thing that I've been watching and what's been interesting to me is to see this number of leaks from the Democrats, a party that has historically, at least in the past couple of years, been just a little bit more locked down than Republicans have been. When there's more leaking, that means there's less agreement among different members
saying
of
they're
Biden
evil.
in the White House,
But yeah, they
in the
don't want to do the
campaign,
main
maybe
stuff.
even recently within President Biden's own inner circle. So that's what we're watching. There's no unity here.
All right, Megan, thank you very much, Megan.
And this is another reason why they want Joe Biden to be gone and want Joe Biden to be out of office, because he was supposed to bring everybody back together. He was supposed to bring this reunify this country back together. But instead, we are more divided than we are ever been. And not to mention, like she said in the news conference, they don't really get along in the Democratic Party. So what makes Joe Biden think that he could get everybody to come together when nobody in the Democrat can't even get along? Especially when it comes to him stepping down, because there's some people that want Joe Biden to stay, but then there's others that want him to step down. So they're not even seeing eye to eye with each other, Democrats. But yet they expect Joe Biden to bring everybody together, but they can't even bring Democrats together. Yeah, yeah. Before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, let's take another hit since we've been here for a while and we haven't taken a hit yet. So thank you all for joining me on the live stream. It is Friday, so y'all know what day it is. We're here to get Friday. Get it? Cheers, guys. Thank you all for joining me. Then, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget about the presidential debate. Because, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, all this stuff is happening all at once. First, it started with the assassination of Donald J. Trump. He was at a rally, and then all of a sudden, that's when he got hit with a sniper. And the main issue is why it took authorities so long to take out the sniper. Why didn't he just why they waited and to execute the guy? Why they waited to after he attempted to assassinate Donald Trump before they even attempt to take out the sniper? You see people all over the ground pointing out that, hey, there's a sniper on the roof. There's a sniper on the roof. There's a sniper on the roof. They even showed the video footage of people keep saying there's a sniper on the roof. And even Donald Trump had mentioned that people were saying that there's a sniper on the roof. There's a sniper on the roof. I wonder did any of his I wonder did any of Donald Trump security did it ever get fired for letting that happen to Donald Trump? I mean, where was his security? Why was there no security surrounding the area? So therefore, nothing would happen. Because all right here is a bunch of excuses talking about. First, they said that the reason why they didn't have no sniper on the roof is because the roof is too sloped, so they didn't want the risk of putting nobody up there. But yet, they even pointing out the news, the people on the news pointing out saying that, well, the kid was able to get up there on the roof. So what's your excuse? What's your excuse? Security? What you're talking about some slope, but yet the kid was able to get up there perfectly fine. And this is exactly why people are finding themselves getting turned off when it comes to Democrats. I even hear people switching over from Democrats to Republicans. That's how disgusted people are with Democrats, and see for what they truly are, a bunch of demons. They are nothing but a bunch of demons, liars, manipulators, always be the ones putting fingers at Republicans. Meanwhile, they are the ones that are doing what they claim that Republicans are doing. But let's be Democrats and put fingers at Republicans, so that nobody will put fingers at us. Let's see. And let's go back to the debate. There we go.
Excuse me.
Debate came on last night. It was on YouTube, and it was seen by 2 million views. First you have the who's on there? Oh yeah, and guess who made in a special appearance too, by the way. Not only did Hulk Hogan make an appearance at the debate, but Linda McMahon was also there as well. Linda McMahon, guys. The same Linda McMahon that used to be married to Vince McMahon. She was also there. But here she is right now.
My name is Linda McMahon, and I am the chair of the America First Policy Institute.
Look at Miss Linda McMahon.
I'm perhaps one of the few people who's been privileged to call Donald Trump
Hold on, I'm getting all this
colleague
notification all of a
and a
sudden.
boss, but he's also a friend. Let me share a little story that's
This is why I already have my
not
notification.
typical Donald Trump
Oh,
story.
cause I get mad notifications.
I had a meeting scheduled with him in
Linda McMahon, y'all.
and as he welcomed me, his little 4-year-old granddaughter ran up to him. He scooped her up with delight and asked her, "Who's the most beautiful girl in the world?" And she said, "Me." Then he asked, "And who do you love the most in the world?" And she said, "You, Grandpa." And he kissed her on both cheeks. Then she whisked off his hat
She
and
represents
mussed
Donald
his
Trump, by the
hair.
way. Linda McMahon.
And he smiled with the
I wonder
love
how
that
Donald Trump
only
feels about
a
Vince now.
grandfather could
That
have
all the
given.
scandals come out about him.
I first
and
met
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump when I was the CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment.
She said she was. She no longer is the
For
CEO.
fun, he became part of some of the most compelling and highest rated storylines in the company's history. And when he became president, I was honored to serve in his cabinet, running the Small Business Administration. I traveled the country, talking to business owners and job creators. They knew they had a president who understood them and fought for them. He knew that small businesses are the engine of the American economy, and the Trump tax cuts proved to be like rocket fuel for them. Almost every business owner I spoke with was using their tax savings to grow their businesses. And ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. economy was flourishing.
Yep.
But
And then what happened, Linda McMahon? What
during
happened?
my time in the government was more poignant for me than one that happened in 2018.
What happened, Linda
I
McMahon?
traveled with the president to view the destruction which Hurricane Florence had levied on my hometown of New Bern, North Carolina.
Are you from North Carolina now? You're no longer in Connecticut? Okay.
I stepped off of Air Force One and walked side by side with the President of the United States through the hangar where my father had been a shop foreman and my mom had been a budget analyst. I watched Donald Trump walk through neighborhoods of my childhood, comforting those who had suffered such great damages. Because he was a builder, he talked to them about what it would take to rebuild, what kind of materials they should use.
Thank you, Nico. Thank you for the encouragement and thank you for the kind words. We appreciate that.
But now
You are the
Joe
real
Biden and the
MVP.
Democrats want to penalize small businesses again by hiking their taxes. But when he's reelected, Donald Trump will make those tax cuts permanent. And he will also offer new tax cuts like no taxes on tips.
Wow.
Instead of
See how
taxing
they come
American
at Joe
companies,
Biden?
Donald Trump put tariffs on China that raised billions of dollars and protected American industries. And if reelected, he'll do it again. President Trump is a job creator and the best friend American workers have ever had in the White House. He is a champion of the forgotten men and women, as I have experienced firsthand. But the media doesn't like to acknowledge that very often. Donald Trump is
Wow.
not only a fighter, ladies and gentlemen, he is a good man.
I know, right? It's about to be the craziest. And a lot of people think that
He
it's
has
fake.
the heart of a
It's
lion
staged.
and the soul
They
of
play
a
about a bunch
warrior.
of actors and
And
actresses.
I believe that
A lot of
if
people don't believe
necessary,
this is
he
real.
would stand at the gates of hell to defend our country. He loves this country, and he would do anything
Right?
to defend
Especially
it
now, ever
and to
since what's
protect
going on with
us
Biden.
from all harm. I am confident that he will make America great again. And why? Because he did it before. So I ask all of you here tonight, and those of you who are watching from home, to re-elect Donald J. Trump as the 47th President of the United States. Thank you.
Wow. You heard that?
I want to thank you so much for
So we got even Linda McMahon trying to help Donald J. Trump to become president of the United States for the second time. And that's like Latif. They do love Donald Trump. Why? Why do they love Donald Trump? Do you ask? It's because of all the things that we've seen with Joe Biden and all the stuff that he is allowing to happen. Did you guys know that when Obama was president of the United States, the exact same thing was happening when Obama was president? When it comes to lawlessness, when it comes to injustice, when it comes to all these riots, when it comes to all these mass shootings, all that stuff happens under Barack Obama's watch. And Joe Biden said out of his own mouth that he is going to carry out the plan that Obama set up, and he's going to finish the job that Obama started. And what is the job that Obama started when he was president of the United States? One of them is same-sex marriage. Other one is lawlessness. One of them is lawlessness. And number two is to reverse to take away our rights and freedoms and put them into the hands of criminals. That's why you always hear that criminals have more rights than us, because as soon as you try to defend it, let's say you own a store and somebody break into your store and they come in with a gun and you shoot them in the defense. That is going to send you to jail for self-defense and let him go. They're going to send you to jail for self-defense but let him go. The criminal. That's how little to no rights we have as a nation. And that's how much rights the criminals have. Even our U.S. troops be saying that we have a criminals is running the White House. The criminals, our world leaders and governments are criminals. And if we don't act now and remove them from office, we is going to lose our rights and freedoms. Our U.S. troops be saying this for years, that if we don't act now and remove them from office, we are going to have no rights. And guess what? We have no rights. Because there's certain things that we can and can't say here on the internet. Because we are going to get either shut down, flagged, hit with a whole bunch of fact checkers, and even Tucker Carlson has said this before. Even Tucker Carlson called fact checkers out and called them out for taking away our freedom of speech. And even he knows that there are certain things that we couldn't say or can say or cannot say because of we have absolutely no rights as a nation. And and Tucker Carlson was also there during the Trump rally in Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Look at this. Let's see what Tucker Carlson had to say about how Biden be doing a great job versus Donald Trump.
Journalist, author, and American citizen.
So many who are friends with Donald Trump. Thank you for having me. I have been to many conventions. I have never been to a more fun convention or a
Tucker Carlson.
convention with better vibes. They literally let Navarro out of prison. First of all, thank you. This
This is
feels a lot different.
By the way, this is a guy that be calling out people like Dr. Fauci for the release of this virus that is being suffered by Joe Biden. He's the one that been calling out Dr. Fauci and wanted him arrested for acts against humanity when it comes to this virus.
From what I thought it was going to feel like. I can't hear you, but I know it's something good.
Let's see. Let's pass through this.
Doesn't mean that much inherently. I can call my dog the CEO of Hewlett Packard. It doesn't mean she is.
Hey, you heard that?
No, it's true. And you hate to say it, but it is also true, is a fact, that you could take, I don't know, a mannequin, a dead person, and make him president.
Wow, you heard that?
No, you could. You could. I'm just saying theoretically possible.
He said anybody could be president.
With enough cheating, that could happen.
That's how Joe Biden became president.
Being a leader is very different.
Yeah, a leader.
It's not a title. It's organic. You can't name someone a leader. A leader is the bravest man. That's
Right.
what a leader is.
Yeah.
That is true in all human organizations. This
Yep.
is a law of nature.
Yeah, you gotta be
In that
brave to be a
moment,
leader. You can't be a
Donald
coward.
Trump, months before the presidential election, became the leader of this nation. That was the most obvious to me. And I have to say, you know, I think it changed him. He reached out to Trump within hours of it that night. And what he said to me that night, having just been shot in the face, he said not a single word about himself. He said only how amazed he was and how proud he was of the crowd, which didn't run.
Right.
And I thought two things.
Right. And one of the things that he mentioned that during the shooting, nobody ran. Everybody took cover. Everybody stood quietly still. Cause you know how during this mass shooting, the first thing people start doing, we see a whole bunch of random ass mass shootings. The first thing they do is run. Y'all remember the concert that Sweetie made, and then all of a sudden you see people start running. That's exactly what Tucker Carlson was saying. When there was a mass shooting happening, a sniper, nobody was running. Everybody stood there and pretty much took cover.
The first thing I thought was, well, of course they didn't run. His courage gave them heart. A leader's courage gives courage to his people.
Wow.
And the second thing I thought was, this is the selfish guy I've been hearing about for 9 years? Really? Not a word about himself?
Right? He's supposed to be the
About his
selfish guy. He's supposed to be the
period.
most racist.
And
He's
the
supposed to be all
second
about
thing I
himself.
noticed, which I don't think anyone has remarked upon in public, but I'm just going to since I don't have a script, like why not? Is that
That's the reason why
he
people vote for
turned
Biden.
down the most
Because he's
obvious
supposed to be the most
opportunity
selfish,
in
racist
politics
person.
to inflame the nation after being shot. To inflame the nation, which is an opportunity that almost every other politician I've ever met, and certainly his opponents, would have taken instantly. And they would have said, well, what is this? How did he get shot? Like, how did this happen? And those are real questions that we have to get to the bottom of. But in the moments, the days, the week after the shooting, he did not say that. He did his best to bring the country together. And I thought, this is the divisive figure, this is the irresponsible person. No. This is the most responsible, unifying behavior of a leader I think I've ever seen.
You said ever seen.
The question is,
That's said by a lot about our past
where
presidents.
is he leading us?
A lot.
And I could go on for hours, but let me just sum it up. I do think the entire point from the famous escalator ride 9 years ago until today of Donald Trump's public life has been to remind us of one fact.
What's that?
Is a leader's duty is to his people, to his country, and to no other. That's
right. That's exactly. But guess what Joe Biden rather do instead of catering to this country? He'd rather give money to Ukraine. He'd rather give billions and billions of dollars away to Ukraine than to take care of his own people, specifically his own veterans who fought and died for this country. But instead, we are dealing with veteran homeless crisis.
In the face with democracy on television? Actual democracy is the proposition that the citizens of a country own that country. They're not renters, they're not serfs, they're not slaves, they are the owners of the country. And for that to be true, their leaders have to represent them, which is another way of saying they have to do what the people want them to do.
What the people want, not what you want, Joe Biden.
Thereof. But if they completely ignore what people want, not just 1 year, but generationally, say for 50 years,
right,
then it may be, I don't know what, it's not a democracy. And so I think the entire Trump project, paradoxically, is attacked as an enemy of democracy, is to return democracy to the United States. Hey, let's pay attention to what people actually want. And the lack of interest in that question in Washington is something that ultimately drove me out of the city after 35 years.
Wow.
Lawmakers stepping over the prostrate bodies of their fellow citizens ODing on drugs,
right,
to go cast votes to send money to some foreign country.
Right, Ukraine, Joe Biden.
Actually, we've lost more Americans from drugs in the past 4 years than we lost in World War II.
And by the way, and that's the one thing that I'll never get, because how come when it comes to other countries, you hear people here in the United States, by the way, talk about some free Palestine, or they make you pick, y'all, are you team Pakistan or are you team Israel? Are you team Pakistan? Are you team Israel? Which part of your team are you on? Are you on team Israel? Because you're on team Israel, you fucked up. But if you're part of team Pakistan, you fucked up. But what about the people here in the United States? What about people here in the United States? There are people that are dying in the streets every day. Not just grown men and women. Talk about children. There are children are dying in the streets every day. But yet nobody say nothing about this, about the United States. It's all about free Palestine or Team Israel. But nobody's giving a prayer to the United States and our people here in our own country. What about us here in the United States? Do we need some prayer? Do we need somebody? Do we need some lifting up to do? Why is it all about the other country instead of our own people? That's what Tucker Carlson was trying to say.
Yeah. Our bloodiest war. More than we lost in World War II.
But you worry about other countries.
Does anybody care?
No, they don't.
It is pathetic.
Yeah, it is pathetic. Nobody gives a shit. Because like I said, it's all about free Palestine or it's all about Team Israel, but nobody gives a damn about this country here in the United States. Nobody gives a damn about what's going on with our people here in the United States. Like I said, from gun violence, drug overdose, knife stabbing, kidnapping, all that's happening right here in the United States. But where's the sympathy for our people? Huh? Where's the sympathy for our people? But instead it's free Palestine.
And do you hear a single word from Washington about doing anything about it? We know where the drugs are coming from. We know the supply routes. The U.S. military spent billions bombing the Ho Chi Minh Trail. You don't see our commander-in-chief suggesting that we use our military to protect our country. or
Right.
the lives of its citizens. No, that's for Ukraine.
Say other
And
countries.
it's too much, actually. It's too insulting. It's too insulting. It's a middle finger in the face of every American.
Exactly.
It's a very clear statement, which is unmistakable.
And this is exactly why people don't feel safe. It's exactly why people don't even feel like they belong here, because look what's going on to this country. This country is falling apart in front of our very eyes, and your president is doing nothing to stop it. But all you worry about is other countries like Pakistan, Israel, and the middle and overseas, Afghanistan, China. He worried about Israel. He worried about Putin, Vladimir Putin. He worried about Russia, but he does not give two shits for the United States of America.
And that is, we don't care about you. And Donald Trump, whatever you say about him, and I think he's a wonderful person. I know him well. By the way, the funniest person I've ever met in my life, actually. You can't be funny without perspective or without empathy, which is true. But everything else about Trump aside, he actually cares, because he's interested in the people who live here, because that's his job. A father's job, his duty is to his family. An officer's duty is to his men. A president's duty is to his citizens. And he seems to be the only one who thinks that.
Exactly. He's the only one that thinks that shit like.
For vice president,
Damn sure Joe Biden ain't
he's
thinking
made
that.
that really clear. J.D. Vance, I'll say this about him, is a thoroughly decent man, and I'll just admit it, a friend of mine, one of the very few politicians in Washington who actually is very close to his own wife, which is wonderful to see. And she's wonderful, actually. But J.D. Vance has views that are closer to Trump's voters than anyone else in Washington in office. Therefore, he's the vice president. That's called democracy.
Wow, democracy at its
So I
finest.
will stop on just one point, and that is what's happened over the past month since the debate,
Since debate, there's a lot of stuff that happened since then.
and particularly on Saturday in Butler. I think a lot of people are wondering, what is this? This doesn't look like politics. Something bigger is going on here. I think even people who don't believe in God are beginning to think, well, maybe there's something to this. Actually. And I'm starting to think it's going to be okay, actually. I do think that. In the day after the midterm elections in 2018, Antifa came to my house. The Democratic Party's militia, okay? I was at work. It was obvious when I was at work because it was public. My wife was home alone. They tried to come in through the front door. They terrorized her.
What?
She hid in her pantry. It was on television. It was horrible, actually.
Damn.
It was, I mean, I'm not whining about it. I wasn't getting shot in the face, but it wrecked our day.
Damn.
And the next morning, we're lying in bed, and the phone rings for my wife, and it's Donald Trump, who's not like a regular text buddy of Donald Trump's. She picks it up. Hello? Susie, it's Donald Trump. And it's coming through. I could hear it. You know, I'm in bed. Whoa. And the first thing he says is, I'm going to stand guard outside your house. And she
Wow.
goes, oh, that's so nice.
You
And
thank
he
God to
says,
find his
I'll
house.
never forget this as long as I live. He says, there's a lot of hate out there. And she said, there is, Mr. President.
Exactly, there's a
And
lot of
he
hate.
says, but there's a lot of love. There's a lot of love. And we are seeing that love. I don't think it's human love. And I'll just stop with this. I'm not always convinced that I'm on the right side. I've been on the wrong side many times. You'll never hear me say I'm on God's side, or God's with me, or even I'm with God. I want to be, not sure I am. But I will say this unequivocally and conclusively. God is among us right now. And I think that's enough. God bless you.
Wow. So y'all heard it, folks. Everybody is against what Joe Biden is doing, and that is not putting America first. He is not putting America first. As a matter of fact, he is putting. Matter of fact, we like the afterthought when it comes to this country. We like the afterthought. We barely even thought of when it comes to Joe Biden. The first thing he think about is other countries like Pakistan, The first thing he worried about is Israel, NATO, and now he's got COVID. So you think that he's going to be even more useful for this country or more useless for this country? Because of this guy, we are no longer safe. You hear me here, Tucker Carlson? Even Tucker Carlson got held at gunpoint. Tucker Carlson even got held at gunpoint. Even got home invasion and home invasion. Even he has suffered from home invasion thanks to your corrupt president of the United States, Joe Biden, and all his policies when there's like we lock somebody up and then release him the same day. They call it the catch and the release program. The catch and release program, where and every time I watch the news, they always talk about they would have said the few things they always says. The usual suspect. The one thing they love to say is the usual suspects. Number two, there were no arrests. They love to say that on the news. There were no arrests. And number three is that they're going to get released on the same day. If they do get locked up, they're not going to get locked up for long, only for 24 hours, and then they're right back on the streets. Which brings me to another thing that I hear a lot. Which is this person has been arrested. These criminals that are out here terrorizing people, taking over your city, has been arrested multiple times. But yet they're still getting released because of this stupid policy made by Joe Biden. That's why people, including Democrats, wanted him to step down. Because he's put this country more harm than good. Looks like you guys.
A much greater distance.
And look who's live, ladies and gentlemen, right now. It is Donald Trump.
Took the assassin's life. Took him out.
This is the response of Joe Biden. This is the response of Donald Trump getting hit, assassinated.
I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here.
You see everybody saying, yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are supposed to be here. He's saying that he's not supposed to be here because he almost got assassinated. But the fans are saying, yes, you are. They're replaying this, by the way. Even though this is live. Look.
But I'm not.
This is took place yesterday, by the way. They're replaying this.
I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God.
Wow. Matter of fact, it's good. Matter of fact, it's good.
Watching the reports over the last few days, many people say it was a providential moment. Probably was. When I rose, surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead.
Wow.
And there was great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over. But I could see I was dead. And there was great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over. But I could see.
See, this is what after he got attempted assassinated. Look at the blood on his face.
I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting
These
and
are a lot of
started
comments, by the way.
shouting, "Fight,
This is what people
fight,
have to say
fight."
in real time. Hear the fans telling us to fight. Look at this.
Once my clenched fist went up, and it was high into the air. You've all seen that. The crowd realized I was okay and roared with pride for our country like no crowd I have ever heard before.
Wow. That's how much people love Donald Trump. Thanks to Joe Biden, the corruption of Joe Biden. People like Donald Trump
For the
more.
rest of my life, I will be grateful for the love shown by that giant audience of patriots that stood bravely on that fateful evening in Pennsylvania.
Hey, don't put to Pennsylvania, by the way, my home state,
Shooter claimed the
Pennsylvania.
life of one of our fellow Americans, Corey, comparator, unbelievable person, everybody tells me. Unbelievable. And seriously wounded, two other great warriors, spoke to them today. David Dutch and James Copenhaver. Two great people.
Donald Trump, yeah.
I also spoke to all three families of these tremendous people. Our love and prayers are with them and always will be. We're never going to forget them. They came for a great rally. They were serious Trumpsters, I want to tell you. They were serious Trumpsters and still are. But Corey, unfortunately, we have to use the past tense. He was incredible. He was a highly respected former fire chief, respected by everybody. Was accompanied by his wife, Helen, incredible woman. I spoke to her today, devastated, and two precious daughters. He lost his life selflessly acting as a human shield to protect them from flying bullets. He went right over the top of them and was hit.
Wow. He completely protected his daughters from being hit. The person that got shot by the gunman was shielding his daughters, so therefore he went and set up he protected himself from he protected his daughters with his life. He pretty much protected his daughter with his life. You would never see Joe Biden do anything like this ever. You would never see Joe Biden do nothing like this. Don't let me bring up what he did when the other officer died. He was nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. He was at no funeral. He was at the funeral. He was nowhere. But he was with Obama during the presidential debate.
The family for sending his helmet, his outfit, and it was just something that they're going to do something very special when they get it. But we did something which cannot match what happened, not even close. But I am very proud to say that over the past few days, we've raised $6.3 million.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
For the families of David, James, and Corey, including from a friend of mine, just called up. He sent me a check right here. I just got it. $1 million.
Wow, a check of $1 million.
From Dan Newland. Thank you, Dan. And again, when speaking to the family, I told them, I said, well, I'm going to be sending you a lot of money, but it can't compensate. They all said the same thing. You're right, sir. We appreciate so much what you're doing, but nothing can take the place in the case of Corey and the other two. By the way, they were very, very seriously injured, but now they're doing.
Meanwhile, Joe Biden would do a complete opposite. He told the victim family about, so, what do you want? And the guy looked like and said, what do I want? My friend got killed.
I ask that we
about what do I
observe
want?
a moment of silence in honor of.
That's why everybody wants Joe Biden out of here. One minute silence.
There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for others. This is the spirit that forged America in her darkest hours, and this is the love that will lead America back to the summit of human achievement and greatness. This is what we need. Despite such a heinous attack, we unite this evening more determined than ever. I am more determined than ever, and so are you. So is everybody.
This was the speech that took place last night, ladies and gentlemen. It's the reason why I didn't watch Impact Wrestling, because this was on last night.
Thank you very much.
See, because of Joe Biden's corruption, now everybody's chanting, "We want Trump." Look at that. You heard that? Nobody saying we want Biden. Nobody damn sure ain't saying that. Not one person is saying we want Biden. We want Biden. That don't sound right.
In this mission, because
That's more laughable.
And our cause is pure. No matter what obstacle comes our way, we will not break, we will not bend, we will not back down, and I will never stop fighting for you, your family, and our magnificent country. And everything I have to give, with all of the energy and fight in my heart and soul, I pledge to our nation tonight. Thank you very much. I pledge that to our nation. We're going to turn our nation around, and we're going to do it very quickly. Thank you. This election should be about the issues facing our country and how to make America successful, safe, free, and great again.
You said, your comments say, "God save Donald Trump."
In an age when our politics too often divide us, now is
I don't know,
the
right?
time to remember
Core
that we
politicians
are
try
all
to
fellow
divide us,
citizens.
this country.
We are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all, not for selected people. Joe Biden. For all, not for selected people.
And we must not criminalize dissent or demonize political disagreement, which is what's been happening in our country lately at a level that nobody has ever seen before.
That's Joe
In
Biden.
that spirit, the Democrat Party should immediately stop weaponizing the justice system and labeling their political opponent as an enemy of democracy.
That's how you know Joe Biden's a traitor to this country. Joe Biden's a traitor.
Especially since that is not true. In fact, I am the one saving democracy for the people of our country.
Not Joe Biden. The answer is not Joe Biden.
And very big news, as you probably just read, on Monday a major ruling was handed down from a highly respected federal judge in Florida, Eileen Cannon.
You know the case they have against Donald Trump?
The prosecutor and the fake documents case against me were totally unconstitutional, and the entire case was thrown out of court.
Ooh.
With all of that,
So that grade, that the whole thing was a damn joke. Him going to trial was a damn joke.
if Democrats want to unify our country, they should drop these partisan witch hunts, which I have been going through for approximately 8 years.
You said witch hunts.
And they
What's
should
going
do
on witch
that
hunts?
without delay and allow an election to proceed that is worthy of our people. We're going to win it anyway.
So nobody wants Joe Biden in office. I mean, not even the Democrats, not even Obama wants this guy in office anymore.
To be joined by my amazing wife, Melania.
How old is his wife, by the way? She's like she's in the 30s and 40s. And Donald Trump's like 70. Hey, man, to pull that off. Give it somebody that's in their 30s. And he's like 7. He's like damn near 80.
And Melania,
What?
thank you very much. You also
Talk about dating when they're young.
something
Jeez.
really beautiful, a letter to America calling for national unity, and it really took the Republican Party by surprise. I will tell you, it was beautiful.
Wow. See, look, she looks she in her 30s,
fact,
and
some very
possibly in her
serious
20s. Look
people
like,
have said that we
and
should
yeah, she
take
married
that
to
letter and
married to
put it as
Donald Trump.
part of the Republican platform. That would be an honor, wouldn't it? Right, Mr. Congressman? But it captivated so many, so I also want to thank my entire family for being here. Don, Kimberly, Ivanka and Jared.
Got his whole
Eric,
family there.
Lara, Tiffany and Michael, Barron. We love our Barron.
Yeah, we love our Barron. At least they had no felonies.
And of course,
Joe Biden,
my
at least none of his sons had no
wonderful
felonies.
grandchildren.
Unlike
You
your
saw them
sons, Joe
on
Biden,
my lap before.
who has 3 multiple felonies, and Joe Biden's son. Yeah, he wasn't talking about Donald Trump having
How good
felonies,
was Dana?
and yet the son has all the felonies.
Was he good? You know, he was on probably the only vacation he's had in about maybe ever, because he works, but about 10 years with his wife, very far away. I won't tell you where, but very, very far away. Beautiful place. And my people called, and he said, yeah, I won't be able to do it. This is many, many years. I promised my wife I can't do it. And they came in, they said, Dana won't be able to do it, because he was my first, second, and third choice.
What?
I said, well, you know, that's too bad, but I understand he's away, and it's good. It's good for him. And that was it. About 30 minutes later, she came back in, sir, Dana just called. He's going to do it. And his wife, she said,
he says his mind, he's going to do it, huh?
Down, you just can't do it. You have to go. That's a good wife.
Mm.
So he got on a plane. He got here a little while ago. Now he's going to get on the plane in a little while, and he's going to go back home to his wife. But they're great, and I just want to thank her and him and their whole family, because that's not easy.
I know, right, Moosey? He got himself a young ass wife.
He said, I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part, because, you know, Kid does his great song, Big, Big Monster song. I had no idea. You know, he became a friend of mine over the last 10 years. And he's amazing. Everyone loves him. I didn't even know how big he was. You know, he has rallies, 35, 40,000 people. He gets
Talk about Kid
every
Rock.
time he goes out. I think he's
Focus.
making so much money, he doesn't know what the hell to do with it. You want to know?
Dude, he still got a bandage in his head. Well, most people say that's fake. Most people say it's fake that he got shot.
And it was a big success, but we made that. I saw a chart of great songs to America. That was number 1 on the chart.
Not everybody, obviously.
So,
but you got a few people think that it's fake.
Very special, beautiful person. He's a beautiful man. But they all wanted to be here. They called him. And how about the Hulkster? How good was he? See him? Where is he?
Look, Hulk Hogan there.
Boy, oh boy.
Got the Hulk Hogan there. I am a real American.
You know, they may call that entertainment. I know about entertainment, but
he was part of WrestleMania. Donald Trump was part of WrestleMania. You guys remember? Donald Trump was part of WrestleMania.
Then bench press him 2 rows into the audience. I said, maybe entertainment, but he is one strong son of a gun. I would tell you, I watched it many times. There aren't a lot of entertainers that can do that, right?
How funny that Vince McMahon is no longer has been banned from WWE, guys. Vince McMahon has been banned from WWE. I wonder what Donald Trump had to think about that.
Boy, that was good. I didn't want to really come up here. But he was so great, and he's such a good young man. He went through a lot of trouble, and Don last night was incredible. They went through so much trouble. They got subpoenaed more than any people probably in the history of the United States. Every week they get another subpoena from the Democrats. Crazy.
That's to say,
the whole thing, just boom,
this
boom,
election going to be very, very interesting. Because I'm definitely going to see how it's going to turn out. Because if Joe Biden ends up somehow winning this election, we all going to know why he won this election. I'm just going to put it out there right now. If somehow, some way, Joe Biden wins the second term, we all know why.
Devote that genius to helping our country, we'd have a much stronger and better country. And Jason, the biggest star in country music. Jason, thank you for being here. Jason, thank you very much. Jason Aldean.
You see, still got the bandage on his ear.
I like his wife even better, by the way. She's here.
You say he likes his wife better.
But I'm thrilled to have a new friend and partner fighting by my side. The next Vice President of the United States, the current Senator from Ohio, J.D. Vance, and his incredible wife, Usha.
So that's who he chose to be as the Vice President, guys. Joe Biden, Donald Trump chose him to be his Vice President. That's who he chose to be his next Vice President.
He's going to be a great Vice President.
Hope he's going to be a better Vice President than Kamala Harris.
His greatest movement in the history of our country. Make America great again. When they criticize it, they say, we're going to try and stop MAGA. I said, MAGA is making America great again. What are you going to stop? There's nothing to stop. Then they say, oh, that's right. It's very tough to fight it. And all of the people that did try and fight it have failed. But he's going to be with us for a long time, and it was an honor to select him. Great student at Yale. His wife was a great student at Yale. They met at Yale. These are two smart people. So, JD, you're going to be doing this for a long time. Enjoy the ride.
Wow, he's with us for a long time. And this is not like other bosses giving him fake promises and then all of a sudden firing him when that's through
and the great state.
You know.
Oh, there they are. You are so easy to spot. And Green Bay's going to have a good team this year, right? They're going to have a good team. They're going to have a good team. Most of the audience doesn't like it, but it's true. You're going to have a very good team this year.
Look how many people that showed up.
And by the way, Wisconsin, we are spending over $250 million here creating jobs and other economic development all over the place. So I hope you will remember this in November and give us your vote. I am trying to buy your vote.
Whoa.
I'll be honest about that.
You say you try to buy your vote. At least you're being honest. You tried to buy your vote, unlike Joe Biden, who will sit there and lie to your face.
And I promise we will make Wisconsin great again. We're going to make it.
There we go. And that was the presidential debate. And guys, this is going to be very, very, very interesting to see who won this debate between Donald J. Trump and Joe Biden, because it's clear as day that everybody wants Joe Biden out of here. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, ever since Joe Biden became president of the United States, there's been a lot of events happening back to back to back to back to back. Just like when Obama was president of the United States, all this stuff was happening back to back to back to back to back. From injustice, from the gun violence, criminals taking over the streets, you got break-ins, we got burglaries, robberies, shoplifting is at an all-time high, crime's at an all-time high. But let the news tell it. The crime's been down 40%. Meanwhile, you hear celebrities like Hulk Hogan saying that this country has become so unsafe and so unstable under the leadership of Joe Biden. And guess what now we are dealing with? That's what we're dealing with now, ladies and gentlemen. We are dealing with a power outages when it comes to tech. Specifically, airlines, banks, and other social media outlets. It's been like that since yesterday. So if you think the Baltimore Bridge, is something that's going to stop people from traveling back and forth, but now you got this whole airline situation that's definitely going to stop people from going back and forth. Tech outage. Look at this.
Live now from Fox 619 over on the East Coast and 319 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I'm here for the next several hours to bring you all of your top stories and breaking news. And I do want to get to this
It's been like
image
this
right
ever
here that we
since
have
yesterday.
of
It's
one
still
of
like
the
this today.
across the country that are dealing with a right now. We're talking ground stops from many major to a widespread Microsoft outage, also impacting
Microsoft outage.
banks, some social media outlets, and other companies around the world.